And close your eyes. Imagine him in your boat. The waves around you may rise, but he does not fear. He is with you. And he speaks over your heart. Peace, be still. Your breathing slows. The tension leaves your shoulders. And his presence wraps around you like a warm blanket in winter. Let this story not only lull you into sleep, but into sacred rest. The kind of rest only the Prince of Peace can bring. Tomorrow holds its own worries, but tonight there is nothing to do, nothing to carry, nothing to solve. Only trust, only rest, only the quiet whisper of grace that says, "You are safe, you are mine, you are loved." Night had now fallen fully over the land. A soft velvet curtain pulled across the sky, scattered with stars like diamonds on dark silk. In the quiet hush, as villages dimmed their lights and fires faded to embers, Jesus often withdrew to lonely places to pray, not because he was weary of people, but because communion with the Father was his breath, his nourishment, his rhythm. Even the Son of God, wrapped in human flesh, sought solitude with heaven. In that silence, there was power. In that stillness, divine presence moved like gentle waves on a sleeping shore. He prayed not only for strength, but for you. Yes, even then, for all who would believe, for all who would come later in centuries to follow, burdened by the weight of the world, longing for rest. He saw you in his heart. He saw the tears you would cry in the dark, the nights you would lie awake wondering if you were truly known. And in his divine compassion, he held you in prayer. That is the love of Jesus, not bound by time, not limited by geography, a healing Savior, always present, always near. As the morning light returned to the hills, he walked again among the people. Crowds gathered, pressing close, bringing their sick, their children, their hope. A man named Bartimaeus, blind from birth, sat by the roadside and called out, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." Others tried to silence him, but faith doesn't shrink, it cries louder. Jesus stopped, turned, and asked gently, "What do you want me to do for you?" Bartimaeus answered, "Lord, I want to see." And Jesus, full of compassion, said, "Go, your faith has healed you." Instantly, Bartimaeus received his sight. But more than that, he received vision of the heart. He followed Jesus down the road, not just seeing, but believing. This is the beauty of Bible healing stories. They are not just about restored bodies, but about restored souls, about opening blind eyes and also blind hearts. Can you feel it now? That peace washing over you? The world quiets, but heaven speaks. Your breath deepens. The worries that once raced through your thoughts now begin to fade like morning mist. Because the same Jesus who healed Bartimaeus is healing your mind, your fear, your ache, right here, right now. So breathe slowly. Let go. You are not alone in this night. You are being held by hands that once calmed the sea, that once lifted the dead, that once broke bread to feed.
In the quiet light of early morning,
where gentle winds swept across the Sea of Galilee, a boat floated slowly toward the shoreline. The water shimmered softly under the first light, casting a calm reflection of the heavens above. In that boat stood Jesus, the light of the world, the Prince of Peace, the healer of hearts, his robe gently swaying with the breeze. This was not merely a journey of travel, but of divine purpose. A miracle of Jesus was about to unfold, a true faith-healing story born not of thunder, but of whispered mercy. As the waves kissed the sand, the silence broke. From the tombs beyond the shore, a man emerged. Wild hair, torn clothes, eyes filled with torment. This was no ordinary man. He was possessed, lost, feared, and forgotten. For years, he had wandered in the wilderness, screaming among the graves, bruising his flesh against sharp stones. Bound by chains he could break, but never free from the torment within. Yet even demons know the power of divine authority. As soon as he saw Jesus from afar, he ran, not in rage, but in desperation. Falling to his knees, the man cried out with a voice not entirely his own. "What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God?" The spirits within him trembled. They knew this was no ordinary rabbi. This was the Son of God, the one who had authority over the storm, over sickness, even over them. And in the stillness, Jesus spoke, with a voice as calm as resting waters, "Come out of this man, you unclean spirit." This, dear listener, is the power of biblical sleep stories, tales wrapped not in fear, but in freedom. The spirits within the man, a legion many in number, begged Jesus not to send them into the abyss. Instead, they asked to enter a nearby herd of pigs. Jesus, in his sovereignty, allowed it. The moment he gave permission, the spirits fled, and the man's body became still, calm, whole, redeemed. The pigs, now possessed, rushed down the steep bank and drowned in the sea below, a visual of spiritual cleansing, a sign of final deliverance. The man who once lived among the tombs now sat quietly beside Jesus, clothed and in his right mind. And as the morning sun rose higher, a new day had dawned for him and for all who believe in the miracle of healing. This was not just a Christian bedtime story. This was real. This was hope. This was Jesus, the Savior who finds us in our darkest tombs and brings us into His marvelous light. But the story of peace was not over. As Jesus returned across the waters to another town, a great crowd gathered by the shore. Among them was a synagogue leader named Jairus. Desperate and pleading, his daughter lay dying. But before Jesus could even begin walking to her, a quiet miracle was waiting to happen in the form of a woman, forgotten by the world. She had suffered for 12 years from a bleeding disorder. Doctors had failed her. Her health was gone. Her strength was fading. But her faith was alive. In the crowd, she pressed forward, whispering in her heart, "If I can only touch his robe, I will be healed." In that moment, one small act of faith, she reached out and touched the fringe of his garment, and immediately her body was healed. The flow stopped. Her suffering ceased. She felt the touch of heaven ripple through her soul. Jesus stopped. In the middle of the crowd, he turned, asking gently, "Who touched me?" It wasn't anger, it was compassion. Because even in the midst of miracles, he still sees individuals. Trembling, the woman fell before him, confessing everything. But instead of rebuke,
He gave her peace. "Daughter," he said tenderly, "your faith has made you well. Go in peace." And so she did, restored, cherished, beloved. These aren't just Christian meditation stories. They are divine encounters meant to bring peace to your soul as you drift into rest. And so she did, restored, cherished, beloved. These aren't just Christian meditation stories. They are divine encounters meant to bring peace to your soul as you drift into rest. As Jesus continued walking with Jairus, messengers arrived with sorrowful news. The child had died. "Don't bother the teacher anymore," they said. But Jesus, calm as the still morning sea, looked